Alrighty, let's get started. Just lying on our backs today. So knees up to the sky. Maybe place a hand on your chest, a hand on your tummy. Just start to breathe and maybe windshield wiper your knees back and forth. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your nose. Trying to get that ocean-like sound as you swirl the air in the back of your throat. And we're gonna hug our knees into our chest. Rock side to side. Massaging at that lower back. And then extend that left leg out. Draw that right knee into the chest. Take some circles here. Loosening up the hip. Eventually taking it across the body. Keep that right shoulder tucked to the ground. And this spinal twist. Feel free to walk those left toes to the right corner of your mat. Just breathe here. Eventually coming back to center. Hug that knee back in, maybe make some more circles. And then extend it down. Bring the left knee into the chest. Create some circles here with this knee. Loosening up the left hip. And then drawing it across the body. Keep that left shoulder attached to the mat. Feel free to walk those right toes over to the left corner of the mat, getting a little more of a twist. Just breathe. Make your way back to a neutral center position, maybe hugging that left leg in, doing some last minute circles. And then bringing both your knees into your chest, rock side to side. Maybe you take it out to a happy baby, grabbing the outer edges of your feet, drawing those knees into your armpits. Maybe you draw the soles of the feet together if that feels nice. You also have the option to extend one leg and straighten the other, alternating sides. If this feels good for you. Eventually, when you're ready, hug those knees in your chest. Take a couple rocks forward and back now, along the spine. Building a little bit of a momentum here. Eventually rocking all the way over into a tabletop position. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Drop that belly down, taking the chin up. And then round through the spine. Drawing the belly button up and in. Tuck the chin. Exhale, down. Inhale, round through the spine. Take a few of these at your own pace. Really stretching into how your body's feeling today. Maybe you decide to venture off, listening intuitively to your body. few more moments here. Eventually taking it to child's pose. Knees widespread, arms forward. Melt the chest down to the mat. Sink those hips back. Reconnect to the breath. Take a moment to be grateful for your body. We're going to plant the forearms down and untuck the toes, coming to a forearm plank here. Just building some heat. So elbows underneath the shoulders. Draw that belly up and in. Lifting the hips tall. We're going to come up to a high plank. Planting both hands. Maybe taking some forward and backward rocking motions here. Shifting forward fully on the toes, chaturanga down, keeping the elbows in towards the body. Inhale to an up dog. Take it back to a downward dog. Tuck those toes. Send the hips to the sky. Pointing that tailbone up tall. Long, flat back here. Draw that chest towards the upper thighs. And keep that gaze right above the kneecaps. And just breathe here, letting the head hang loose. Maybe broadening through the shoulders, so tucking those elbows in underneath the body, broadening through the shoulders. Inhale, lift the right leg up, and then bend at the knee, opening up through the hip. We're going to bring it through to a low lunge position, opening up to Skandasana now. So opening up to the left, straighten through that left leg, bending that right knee, maybe bringing your hands to heart center if that feels good, or keeping them on the ground to stabilize you. Just breathe here. Option is switch side to side if that feels good. So switching to the left side Skandasana, or staying on the right, alternating between the two. Eventually making your way back to that right side Skandasana. Shift forward into that low lunge position, dropping that back left knee, coming up, planting the hands. Send the tailbone underneath the body, so tucking the hips, drawing the belly button up and in, sending those hips forward and down. We're going to plant the left hand now. Untuck those toes, lifting the back knee, open up to the right. Little gentle twist here. And then plant the hand. We're going to step up this back left leg and squaring off our hips, coming to a pyramid pose. So forward fold over that right leg. Think about getting a long, flat back here. You might even lift that left leg off the ground, coming to a little split position. And then planting the leg down. Maybe paddle at the feet. We're going to rise up with a flat back. Inhaling the arms up over our head. Exhale, arms by our side. Maybe paddle out the feet. Once again, inhaling, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, gaze out long, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back. Exhale, chaturanga down. Inhaling to up dog. Exhaling, downward dog here. Send the hips to the sky, long, flat back. Broaden through those shoulders. On your next inhale, lift the left leg up to the sky, bending at the knee, opening up through the hip. Eventually swinging it through to that low lunge position, opening up to a left side Skandasana. So right leg long, left knee bent. Maybe you bring your hands to heart center if that feels good, or maybe you keep them on the mat to stabilize yourself. Just breathing here. You also might choose to alternate sides if that feels good. Switching to a right side, maybe back to left. Taking those toes up to the sky, flexing that foot. Eventually meeting in that left side Skandasana. We're going to come back to center, dropping that back right knee, bringing our hands to our thighs, tuck the hips underneath, drawing that belly button back towards the spine. Send those hips forward, stretching out that right hip flexor. Breathing here. Trying to keep our breath steady as we inhale and exhale throughout our whole practice. When you're ready, plant that right hand down, tuck the back right toes, lift the knee off, open up to the left side, gazing up at that left thumb. Little gentle twist. And then plant the hands, step up that back right leg to a pyramid pose, squaring off the hips. Forward fold with this long flat back. If this is too hard, feel free to modify it by placing a hand on the shin or up here on the thigh, keeping that flat back. Option to float that right leg up to the air. Standing split position. And then planting the leg down by the other leg, the other foot. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead, long flat back. Exhale, arms by your side. Maybe paddle out the feet once again. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, gaze out, long flat back. Exhale, step or jump back. Coming to a high plank position. Rock forward on the toes, chaturanga down. Inhaling to an up dog, take it back to child's pose, knees widespread. Send the hips back, melt the chest down, reconnect to the breath. Make your way back to a tabletop position. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Drop that belly down. Round through the spine, drawing the belly button up and in, tucking the chin. Exhale, drop it down. Inhale, draw it up. Exhale, down. Inhale up. Maybe you decide to venture off once again, making big circles with your hips. Maybe you swivel your head and your hips at the same time. Just getting really loose. Eventually coming back to that stable position. Inhale the right arm up to the sky. Interlace it underneath the left arm. Keeping the hips lifted, stretch that right shoulder. Maybe you decide to extend that left arm up above the head. Breathing here. Replant that left hand. Extend the right arm up. Gazing up at the thumb. Exhale, plant it down. Maybe take a few cat-cow here. Releasing the spine. Once again, coming back to a neutral position. Inhale that left arm up. Exhale, interlace it underneath the right arm. Maybe you decide to extend that right arm up. Keep the hips lifted. Stretching out that left shoulder. When you're ready, replant that right hand. Inhale, lift the left arm up tall. Gaze up at the thumb. Exhale, plant it down. Release the spine. Move freely. Or traditionally, if you like. Listening to your body. Taking a few more moments. Eventually making your way back to a child's pose, arms extended forward. Think about lengthening in this child's pose. Fingertips forward, tailbone back. And swim it through to a Sphinx position, planting the forearms down. Take the shoulders up and back, rolling through the chest, lifting up through the collarbones. Draw that belly button up and in, and maybe take a few head rolls, dropping the chin. Take a few more moments here. Eventually planting those hands once again. Roll those shoulders back and pull back with the palms. Lifting up through the chest. Very active pose here. Put pressure into those palms once again. Lifting gently up. Maybe not fully straightening to the elbows. And then release it down. Taking our feet now, we're gonna grab the tops of our feet and we're gonna kick into our palms here. Inhaling, lifting. Maybe this is really gentle. Applying that pressure into our palms. Exhale, release it down, cheek to mat. Take your arms by your sides. Maybe swivel your hips side to side. Releasing that lower back. And then planting the hands, shift the hips back to child's pose. Once again, reconnect to the breath. Walk those hands up, take a seated position. Make your way to your back once again. Heels planted by your hips. We're gonna take a couple bridge poses. So planting the arms down by your sides. You're gonna lift up with your hips to the sky, keeping those knees in and parallel to each other. Just lifting the hips, squeezing through the butt. Holding this a few moments. Maybe lifting the hips even taller and then releasing it down. Maybe hug your knees in your chest, rock side to side. And then plant the feet again if you'd like. Lifting one more time up, inhaling, lifting the hips, bridge pose. You might even use your hands to support your hips. Lifting them up, keeping those knees in. And bringing it down. Once again, bringing the knees into the chest, rock side to side. Maybe you take it out to happy baby. Whatever feels good for you. Maybe you bend and straighten one leg at a time, alternating. Eventually, when you're ready, feel free to extend out to your final pose, Shavasana. Placing the palms up towards the sky, tuck those shoulder blades underneath the back. And begin to fully relax in this position. Maybe imagining yourself floating on water, trying to be as still as possible, adjusting any hair or article of clothing that you need to make it as if you're still on the water, letting the ripples decrease as you lie there in stillness. Shavasana. Start to become aware of your breath. Maybe making bigger inhales and exhales. Maybe making small movements, wiggling your fingers and toes. Eventually making bigger movements. When you're ready, you can roll to your favorite side, cradling your head with your arm. Eventually making your way to a seated position. Such an awesome job today, guys. I hope you have the best Wednesday. Namaste. Thank you for coming, everybody. Have a great Wednesday.